Hello everyone! Welcome to a video about Java and Go. Now you may be a newbie programmer or maybe a seasoned veteran on this subject, or you may have never done any programming. But in 2021 a lot of people are turning to programming, and you might be asking, what is the best programming language? Well, today we are not going to answer that. Today we are going to write a simple program both in Java and Golang, and we are going to compare them. Let's go. You must have heard of prime numbers, right?
Optimus Prime.
Those pesky numbers that cannot be divided, like 19, and they can be divided, but they can only be divided by 1. Yep, there are quite some use of those prime numbers
Optimus Prime.
in real life, but in the domain of programming they are mostly used as a secret sauce behind the modern day cryptography. Now, what is cryptography? Oh, I don't want to get into that. That's quite a tough subject to talk about in a simple video. So we'll stay simple and we'll write some simple prime numbers using programs. Are you interested? Here we go. There is an algorithm, or a pretty old one, called Sieve of Eratosthenes. From the name, it looks like it might have originated from the Greek time. In fact, a lot of wonderful things originated from Greek time. That's a mouthful, isn't it? Sieve of Eratosthenes. To find all prime numbers up to a given limit, this is a very common algorithm, and one of the easier one to understand. I have left a link in the description for Wikipedia if you want to learn more about this algorithm. So we basically take a long list of numbers, and then let's say someone tells you to find all the prime numbers up to 1 million. You make a list of all the numbers up to 1 million. You start from 2. Now 2 is a prime number because it can only be divided by 1, and it's very easy prime number to find. But from 2 to 1 million, you find all the numbers that are divisible by 2 and mark those as not prime. Boom! Out of 1 million, half of the numbers are gone. Okay? And then you move on to the next number, which is 3. 3 is again prime, cannot be divided by anything else. So you do the same thing for 3, marking all the multiples of 3 as not prime. You move on to the next number, which will be, no, not 4, because 4 is already gone. 4 is already marked as not prime because it's divisible by 2. So you skip over 4 and go to 5, and then do the same thing, mark 5 as prime, and then all the 5's multiples as not prime. So you keep on going like this till you reach the end where you have no more numbers to mark. So now let's take a look at the program. These are exact same logic written in 2 different languages. One is Go. So here is the Go program. So we have a display prime. This is just to display. And we have a sieve function. We do the exact same thing. We create an array for that many number. In my case, 1 million. This is a very simple program. Does the exact same thing in sieve function. I leave it up to you to read this and understand the logic. By the way, I did not write this program, neither this one nor the Java one. I didn't have that much time to actually write it, so I instead copied them from the internet. Both the Java and Go version of this program is linked in the description. But they do the same thing. Let's take a look at the Java program. As I said, it's the same thing. It has a method called Sieve of Eratosthenes. Does the same thing, defines an array, loops through and keeps first marks all of them true, opposite, and then goes through and marks the ones that are not prime false. And at the end basically goes through all the loop and only prints the prime one. So let's run them and see which one runs faster. Here we go. So first, the Java program. I have actually exported the Java program into a jar file called programs.jar. And here we go, measure command. So I am using measure command, which is a PowerShell command. And you can see I'm using Windows. So this was the option that I found easiest. It took 404 milliseconds. Wow, that was fast to find all the primes up to million. So what happens if I just run this program? It will print all the prime numbers up to 1,000,000. So let's do that. There you go. That took quite some time, right? But that took quite some time because not to run the program, but it had to print all these numbers. But when you are running it in measure command, we are not seeing those outputs. Okay. So that's why we'll use measure command for both of the programs. So this time you might have noticed that it's giving you 375 milliseconds. So we will run this several times. Okay. So generally speaking, it's hovering from 350 to 400. Once it went to 400 and above. Okay. How does the Go program fare? Let's see. So in case of Go, I built it and I made it into a exe file, sieve.exe. So first run this, it does 320. What happens if I run this by itself? Oh, it takes quite a lot of time, few seconds. Yeah, and that's again for printing the output. So let's run this again few times. See, it went into 200 something. So this runs a little faster than the Java program. So if you are in 2021, if you are comparing programming language and you think Java is slow, that's not really true. It mostly is true, but it's not slow by much. So in our comparison, Go wins as expected. Anyway, I hope this comparison was fun to watch and you learned something from it. I learned a lot while making this video. I plan on doing more videos on comparing these two languages, mainly because I love both of them and have a ton of experience programming on both. If you are interested in it, please do subscribe and hit the bell. That helps the channel a lot. On top of all, have fun learning programming. Keep learning. Kish out.